This is In Conversation with Distinguished Toastmasters of District 105. Today we have here in the presence of a distinguished Toastmaster who has made Oman distinguished in the Toastmasters fraternity. We have distinguished Toastmaster George Thomas. Very good evening to you, sir.
Very good evening, Toastmaster Agni Bose, and thank
Thank
you for this wonderful opportunity.
My seniors always told me that Agnik, look into yourself. You will always become someone more than you know. We all know you as DTM George Thomas. Can you share with us that who is George Thomas in real life?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. And let me think about that. How can I express myself to you? At the outset, I should say I'm a very simple person with limited wishes or dreams and try to live in my own way. Back to my family, I'm from Kerala. Our family is called Mangalavilla. My father was in the Air Force. He was a warrant officer in the Indian Air Force, and my mother was a teacher. I'm the eldest in my family. I got a younger brother and a younger sister. I studied in Kerala itself in a convent school near our village, and then had my schooling in one or two schools nearby, and studied for my pre-degree. Those days it was pre-degree, there was no plus two. So studied in Fatima Mata National College, one of the famous colleges in Kerala, and then my BA in and MA also from SN College, Koilon. And later I took my MBA from Barambar University. Then I started working in Kerala for 1 year. Then I got an opportunity to go to Saudi and work there. 3.5 years I worked in Saudi Arabia, Jubail and Dammam. Then I came to Sharjah and worked. Middle East switch gears. Please listen that name once more. Middle East switch gears, because there is a reason behind that. And then I was working there. I got an opportunity to come to this beautiful country, Oman, back in 1997. An Omani gentleman came to Dubai, recruited me, and I was appointed here. And I'm here in this country for the last 24 years. I worked in many companies here in Oman. And 11 years back, I founded a consultancy called Middle East Management Consultancy. And I work as a management consultant for the last 11 years. In 1999, I got an opportunity to join in Toastmasters. And that is one of the best things that happened in my life. As I mentioned earlier, I'm a simple person, so I don't interfere on politics or even club activities. I mean, usual social club activities and all those. And other than my work and my family, I may probably go to church every week and pray, nothing else. Maybe it's very difficult to believe I'm a teetotaler, I don't smoke, all those things. But I inculcated that from my father. It's very difficult to believe that even though he was in the Air Force, he too was a teetotaler and doesn't smoke. And then Toastmasters helped me in some other way. I never mix my profession and Toastmasters, but make sure that I can take both the things together. I was in the leadership in Toastmasters sometimes, but then due to some other reason, I just thought that I don't want to go to the leaders because I always believe that others are better than me in all respect. So give chance to others. Just I told you that about my education, and then I was married in 1993 to Dr. Reena. She's a gynecologist working here in Oman ministry. Blessed with a baby boy. No, he has grown. He's almost 27 years, and he's completed his computer science engineering from MIT Manipal, and now working in Bangalore for the last 3 4 years. I have only one son and a happy family, as I don't unnecessarily interfere, or I don't interfere others in others' business. That's I always say. Let me clarify that once more. I never interfere on others' business, and I think that's the best thing that one can do for others, because even in club level or anywhere, they can do whatever they want. Make sure that. But if anything goes wrong, I may probably give a warning that many people they don't like it, but I don't care that, because that is what I always think is always good. Give a warning that this may probably go wrong. If it goes wrong, fine. And I think I may probably work for some more years and go back to my native place. And well, my native place is in Kundra, Kerala, in Kollam district. But currently, I have settled in Trivandrum, capital of Kerala. I may probably stay there and pray to God that I will have a retired life with health, and other things. Of course, wealth, that I can meet my end, both ends, without much difficulty. I hope that I have given a clear answer to your question.
Thank you for that enlightenment, DTM George Thomas. I
Thank
still
you.
remember it was around 4 years back. There was a club contest in my club, and DTM George Thomas was the chief judge. And that's when one of my senior Toastmasters told me that Agnik, today you're in Oman, you're in Toastmasters is because of DTM George Thomas. You were one of the founding members of Toastmasters movement in Oman. Can you share with us and our audience how your relationship with Toastmasters started?
Thank you for asking that nice question. I think that's absolutely necessary at this time, because many of the new Toastmasters who do not know what exactly the reason behind starting a Toastmasters in Oman and how it. Let me clarify that. Back in the late 90s, from Advanced Management Institute from Dubai, there was a person called Professor Hussein Ringwala, who used to come to Oman and take personality development classes. In 1998 March, I was fortunate enough to join for that personality development, and that was from 7 to 10 for a week. That really changed my life. And along with that, I met a lot of new to people in Oman, both expats as well as Omanis. And there I found a person who is called Balachandran Chatur, who is currently the general manager of Muscat Overseas. He was very much close to Professor Rengwala, and he was supporting for all his action. So after the course which I had attended, I was invited to be a leader for this particular event. So I used to go and help them for this. And Professor Rengwala got an idea to have an alumni of these Advanced Institute of Management, Dubai. So Bala, with some other Toastmasters, they found a place in the current Majan College, which was called College of Administrative Science those days. And we used to meet in every Monday, 7th to 9th. And it was going on for some time. And I remember some of the old Toastmasters, not by age, but as a friend, and also some of other well-known people in Oman who came with us and discussed. So in 1999 June, this Balachandran Chatur told us there is a organization called Toastmasters with head offices in USA, and why can't we start this? He found it from internet, and he took a step extra by sending some money and got the first kit to start a Toastmasters. And then I was also a part of that in the first meeting. And Mr. Abdul Hamid Adzadjari had been taken as the president of the club, and Bala took the charge of VP Education. And membership was Toastmaster Mahmood, and VP Public Relation was Lucky Gunadalaki from Sri Lanka, and then the secretary was Ravindran, and I got the opportunity, the first treasurer of Oman. And then the last one, Sergeant at Arms, was John Ansel, who was working in those days in Bajan College. And that was the first Toastmasters Club in Oman, and it was registered on 1st July 1999. And I remember its number was 6646. If you can see it here, it's here. I still use that one, and that is something close to my heart. My first DTM bud, and that was the start. Then every 6 months, some of those members who took lead role to start Toastmasters. Second Toastmaster was Oman Toastmasters, then Gala Toastmasters, and so on. The number of Toastmasters has increased in Oman. Now it's 80 with the 5 divisions. And we were fortunate to have our first GTAC. It was called Gulf Toastmasters Annual Convention in those days. That was held in April 8th and 9th at Al Bustan Hotel. And we were able to witness champion speakers, education session, and everything. And that was something I can always cherish in my mind. That's my association with Toastmasters, still continuing. I'm very proud to say that I was one of the oldest or the founding members, and I came up to the level of a division governor those days during 2010-11. Still, I'm a very obedient Toastmasters from Oman. I hope that you got a clear idea about how Toastmasters was started in Oman.
Thank you, DTM George. Very much indeed. That was, in fact, one history that we all should know today as we are part of Oman Toastmaster. Thank you for that. Now, moving forward, DTM George, I have also gotten to know that other than being a DTM in the Toastmasters journey, you are a management consultant, a trainer with a number of accreditations and certifications. Now, how has Toastmasters impacted or influenced your work today?
Okay. Toastmaster, I think you have taken many years back. As I mentioned earlier, I started my first job as a sales officer back in Kerala, and I was stationed at Ernakulam. I was staying in YMCA Ernakulam. My office is in Patma. Those who listen to me, they can hear it. They can understand where exactly the location I'm talking about. So I used to walk from YMCA to my office. With I still remember my father has presented me a Samsonite briefcase, and I carry this and walk. So every day when I walk, I found a board there. If my memory is correct, Suleiman and Associates Management Consultant. In fact, when I see this board, something was creeping in my mind. One day, I want to be a management consultant. And I worked there for almost 1 year, and I got a chance to go to Saudi Arabia. Then I worked there. Then my life has changed. Like from there, I came to Sharjah, and then I came to Oman. In Oman, I changed 4 companies. And the last company where I worked, I was appointed as a general manager. And it was a hospitality firm. So a lot of issues came every day, and it was a challenge for me to solve it one by one. So my manager, I should say that the owner of the company, there were 2 owners, they are big shots in Oman. And he used to say that you are a good consultant, you are a good consultant. So hearing this again and again, something came to my mind. This is what I want to become. And he said that I am a consultant. Then I thought, my God, how I will start it? Then I think about that. Then I discuss with the person. So I'm already a Toastmaster by that time. And he said a lot of things that if you can sort out this, you can start a management consultancy. And to my luck, one of my former colleagues, we worked together in Oman. He has taken his MBA from an American university. And I just discussed with him that what I understood was if I want to start a management consultancy, the sponsor should also be should be an MBA graduate. He said, okay, George, you can go ahead, I'll support you. So that way I started. Then we decided this is the name, Middle East Management Consultancy. And I started a consultancy of my own with my almost 20, 25 years experience. Okay, that's the first part. So I accomplished something. Then when coming back to Toastmasters, I'm very particular. I never mix my profession and Toastmasters. I think I have mentioned it earlier also. But a lot of friends who gave me enough advices, but I make sure that I never use Toastmasters activities for my work. I'm very strict about it. Is a 2 different compartments for, because I never want any bad experience from that. Because work is a workshop, I always believe, and Toastmasters is another one about leadership and communication. So I never mix. So I cannot tell you that other than the friends in Toastmasters, I never use Toastmasters, or the Toastmasters did not influence or help me in my profession. Is it clear?
Very much indeed, DTM George. Thank you for that. Now, reading through your biography, one can see that you're constantly learning and adding credentials and titles to your list of achievements. You have received your second DTM in the year 2019. Now, what does this DTM milestone means to you, DTM George?
That's another lovely question. Let me both. When we joined, or when I joined in Toastmaster, there may be around 50 or less than 50 Toastmasters Club in the whole GCC. And I never heard the word DTM. And I don't know what exactly it is. And later, But I started my project speech one by one. I have gone through all the manuals. I found that these are the things. Then I thought, okay, I will do it one by one. And I have no clue when will I finish. But I have something in my mind. Wherever I go, I tell this. I have something special which I made for myself. Never miss an opportunity in life and never be an opportunist too. This is something I made it. But of course, Toastmasters have its own influence in that sentence. Why I said this? The first DTM was very much thrilling. Day by day, I'm doing project. As I said, whenever I get an opportunity, I speak. I was a member of 3 or 4 clubs, and I was a mentor also. So I get a lot of opportunity and education session, speeches, everything I was doing one by one. And whenever I go for a vacation, I finish before that some milestones in Toastmasters. And just before going, not like today, we have to send all the papers by post. So I get all the signature from the VP education or the president. Then I post those things before going to vacation. So I am not here for 3 or 4 weeks. And when I come back, I have a personal post box from the beginning. When I come back, I get the certificates. So that was a thrill for me. And in 2002, I had an opportunity to do a lot of speeches, lot of education for my DTM, and also I was a secretary of GTAC 2002. This gave an opportunity. At that year, I did most of my speeches, and exactly I remember December 12, 2002, I finished my all the speeches, but I was going back to Kerala for my, vacation for my brother's marriage. So I again applied this but TMI gave me my DTM on 10th February 2003. So there was a gap. Nowadays, you can apply on the same night and you get your DTM. But there, almost 2.5 months, it was taken to give me the DTM. So the first one was very thrilled, and I was very happy when I got this batch. Okay, but second, I started in the year 2009 August after a long gap, and it took exactly 10 years. That means August 2019 only I finished. It was a slow process because your thrill and everything is over with the first one. Second one is you are learning so many other things which you missed. So you can include all those things and go slowly, because once you get a DTM, nobody can take. Adding 1 or 2 or 3 is a different question. So that is something exact, because the first DTM I finished within 3 to 3.5 years. Second DTM it took 10 years. That's experience, which was really wonderful for me. Over to you, Akmin.
Wow, that was very, very delightful. Thank you for that. Now, we as young Toastmasters, we create in a month a 4 to 6 Toastmasters moments during our sessions or contests. Now, DTM George, you have had 20 years of Toastmasters experience. Now, I hope my question is not very tough for you, but we would be delightful to know, can you share that one most memorable moment in your Toastmaster journey?
Okay, thank you. That's an unexpected question. And even though I'm in Toastmaster for the last 24th year for me, 22nd year for me, the best moment that I can cherish, that I can remember the whole life exactly happened on 18th of January 2020. It's another accidental coincidence. I just took this award, if you can. This was presented to me by two past international presidents just on 18th of January 2020. I never expected. I was invited. I went to the hall. I was a bit late. I was sitting at the last row, just enjoying the meeting. And I'm so happy that I'm a bit late, so nobody's going to see me. I'm just relaxing. And then they announced that there is an award ceremony. I said, okay, let me see that. And who is going to give me an award? I just sat at the back. And the award was declared by, or the person who was calling the names was our then treasurer or the finance manager of District 105, DTM G. Kumar. So he just described something about the person who is coming to the stage. Then I felt this looks like my background, but I was not given any clue that I have to go. Then suddenly somebody from the front row called, this looked like DTM George Thomas. And he said, yes, this is DTM George Thomas. And I was surprised. I was really surprised. I went to the stage. I really hugged DTM Muhammad Murad. And then I told the very moment, this is the biggest surprise I have ever got in my life. Still, I believe that's the biggest surprise. I don't think that I get such a surprise ever in my life too. Is it okay?
Absolutely. Definitely. Now, being an active Toastmasters myself, I get to hear a lot from people that, Agnik, why are you in Toastmasters? Your communication is good. That is a common misunderstanding what everyone today has about Toastmasters. And many of us do understand that Toastmaster does improve your communication skills. But how can it improve your leadership skills?
I think that's another thought-provoking question. I fully agree, or the Toastmaster is for enhancing your communication and leadership skills. Communication skills, you do it by doing all the project speeches and you get evaluation and you try to improve day by day or speech by speech and you improve your this one. But there are so many Toastmasters, they may not find time, they may not time to inculcate those changes and improve their speeches. That's one side. I just told you that's. But about the leadership, that's entirely different because sometimes I'm so frank that people may not like it. The leadership I have seen till 2012 is different from what is happening after 12 or the last 8 years. Those leaders who were the district governor, those days it was district governor, and even the international presidents, something we always remember from their speech, from their action, and so many others. Maybe one of the reasons is that there were relatively less districts than the present. So when you think about the leadership, first you have to think about, are you taking the leadership to lead others or just get credit that I am so and so? And I know a lot of Toastmasters, they have taken a position as a leader, but once they come to the post of or they get district director, then you may not see something more than that. Maybe they will vanish. I know a lot of Toastmasters from my experience. So leadership is something different from that. It is not that you take something and you try to lead. You do it, but make sure that what is needed for the hour should be considered and that should be implemented. It is not that leaders want popularity for whatever they do it, and someone should come and praise him even if he doesn't do anything and get a lot of claps and then a lot of photos and a lot of write-ups, and reality is something different. But there are some Toastmasters who made a real difference. The best example, I can tell you that DTM Muhammad Murad, he took as a district director or district governor back in 2003. It was a challenge. That was my first chance to vote in a district election because I was a VP education of Muscat Toastmasters, the first Toastmasters club. And he made District 79P to the best district in the world. Best district in the world. It's not an easy challenge. So he made the difference. Still we consider DTM Muhammad Murad as a role model. That difference, how many people are able to do it? That is the only question. If you think that, or if you have an answer, that's the leadership, according to me.
Perfect example. Now, adding to that, it is also said that a leader needs to listen more than his ability to speak. Now, DTM George, what do you make out of this statement?
Leadership is not a position, but it's an attitude. I read, it's not my word, I read it somewhere. True. When you are a leader, you should listen properly with your followers and try to find out what do they want and what is the need of the hour. You have ability, you are capable to do so many things. Don't force others to accept that. Whereas, go with your followers. What do they want? Whether they need a change or they want to continue in this one. Listen to those followers, especially in Toastmasters, and do it accordingly. Don't give credit to someone for not doing anything. But those people who work like donkeys in Toastmasters or elsewhere, they were not given that. I know a lot of people. Why? Because leadership differentiate there. How did you become a leader? And what are the supports you got it? And many of the leaders should think about themselves after taking some position. What did they do for Toastmasters or somewhere else? So it is not about that. Leadership means it's a big responsibility entrust to a person, not to force others to accept his views, but try to know others and the need of the hour, and then implement that slowly, which will be beneficial for the people or the world itself, and that make things better. That's my point about leadership.
Wow, DTM. I think it is rightly said that leaders like you don't just make the way, but they go the way and they also show the way for people like us to follow. Thank you so much for that.
Wonderful.
Now, apart from your entire journey of Toastmasters and the leadership you have gone through, now my most important question: how has this Toastmasters life impacted and influenced your personal life?
In a simple way, my answer is Toastmasters did not influence my personal life because I told you before that I never tried to mix my profession and Toastmasters. That was applicable to my family life too, or personal life. Whatever they want, I have to do it. No excuse. Maybe I committed something like that. For example, I have taken a road on a particular day, and that day my wife or my son is saying that there is something, then I may probably say that I can do it. But anyway, I don't want to go out from my word. I have to keep my word. So let me finish that. Either before that I'll do your work or afterwards. But make sure that Toastmasters did not influence in my personal life, and I'm very particular about it. I remember some years before, a person who was a Toastmaster those days, but he's not a Toastmaster currently. He asked me, "How did you find time for this?" I said, "Do things in a way that you can do it, not to show others that I have done it. But this is what I can do for Toastmasters or something else. And there are people who can do better than me. But since this ball is in my post, I have to serve a goal. This is my policy. So personal life is different, Toastmaster life is different, professional life is different. I never mix all those things together. And that is very clear even for the last 1 or 2 years, or even 4 years. I don't mix any of these things. I hope that I have clearly answered your question.
Definitely, DTM George. In fact, I'm looking forward to also be able to maintain that personal, professional, and Toastmasters life in a balance like how you do.
I hope so.
Thank you. Now, you have started and sponsored many clubs in Oman. You are currently a member of 4 clubs in Oman, a member of an advanced club in Kerala, India. How do you manage to find the time and the drive to participate and grow these clubs?
This question has two different aspects. There was a time we need a lot of clubs to sustain. So I had a very good friend, DTM Srikumar Pai, and we made a lot of clubs. And mentor, or either a mentor or a sponsor. That way, I tried my best to help. That was a journey where I didn't, as people say, I didn't look left or right. I got an opportunity, or we got an opportunity. We started club. That is one thing, and I supported it. And I found some time for that, not to mix my job, as I told you, my work and this one. I remember in one of the Toastmasters club in Oman, which we started in 2012, they meet from 7 to 9. And as any other club. But the problem is, this is almost a bit far from this place. But that was a good company. They sent their car to pick myself, Srikumar Pai, and even Dr. John Velia. And we used to go there and come back, and they drop us back. So that was something like that time, going back, coming back around 10:30 after the Toastmasters meeting. Maybe that is happening nowadays also, after a long journey, after long work, and then going there helping. But that was something like I was very much happy to do that, because when we go there, we meet a lot of enthusiastic people who wants to improve their communication and leadership skills. It's a corporate club, but I'm so happy to do that, because that satisfaction that they accept us, they wait for us. Even if I don't go for a day, they will ask why you didn't come. That was a charm in that. So I really enjoyed, even though that put me a lot of, I mean, tiredness in me, late night sleep and everything. But that is one thing. And about the other clubs, I got an opportunity. Even one or two clubs invited me that they want me as their member. I really don't know why. But then I joined. But it is not mandatory that you have to attend all the four clubs all the weeks. So you have a choice. So wherever you want to go, go there, attend. That's all. One is in Kerala, Kochi. That's called Advanced Toastmasters of Kerala. There, it's online. Whenever I get time, I attend other things also. So my answer is, I'm not looking for a leadership position anymore, so that it's a must that I have to attend. No, it's my choice. So I find time. I enjoy Toastmasters meeting, and I go and attend whenever it is possible and take the role. Maybe I haven't taken some serious roles for the last 6 months. So in what I want to how I want to conclude is, you are a member, but there are a lot of good people, good Toastmasters, they can run it. Even if I am not a member, that will run. That's my way of looking at things. But still, they want me as a member, or I want to keep my membership. I do it. Whenever I possible, I attend it. Attend the meeting. So that way I can do that. So time is not a constraint, but the only thing is that you should be fit. That, for example, after long hours of work, you have to attend even at 7 o'clock. Maybe you are tired, you don't want. Okay, today I'm not going. Nothing is going to happen. And before that, I check, do I have any role? And I told all the VPs that before you give a role to me, please check with me whether I'm available. Still, other than the club meeting, I have a lot of other rules to play. Even this week also, I have to do. This is one of those related to Toastmasters. Tomorrow I have another one. I have to speak for 4 to 6 minutes. So still I find time and I'm enjoying. The opportunities I get, I try to utilize it. There are a lot of good speakers. They have good ideas. They good speak. They are able to speak very well. They have good ideas, and they get awards. That is their merit. What I am capable of, that I am trying to do that, and that way I am satisfied. So whether it is 4 clubs or 2 clubs, doesn't matter, because I am not looking forward for something great I have to achieve, but I have to maintain the same level as I can. If I go up, then it's very difficult to come down. That's a policy of DTM Johnson.
Wow, that is a true inspiration, DTM George Thomas. Now, being a founding member of Oman Toastmasters, being a member of more than one club, achieving a DTM twice in your journey. Now, what is that one advice you would like to give to all the new members who are aspiring to become a DTM like you?
Toastmasters is the best opportunity you get to develop your communication and leadership skills, no doubt. Whether you are going down or you are going up in life, it depends upon you. You cannot blame anyone. So first you think, what do you want to achieve? You want to be a good speaker, or you want to be a champion speaker going from stage to stage, or you want to be a better communicator, or you want to be a good leader, or you want to help Toastmasters. Choice is yours. DTM or Distinguished Toastmaster is the highest award you can get from Toastmasters. When do you want to achieve? There are people they achieve within 2.5 years. But after that, what will you do? They will do it again and again and again. But why can't you go slowly, do all the criteria needed, do it by step, and achieve your awards slowly? And maybe you will ask the question, you have taken your DTM award for the within 3.5 years. Why can't you? 3.5 years is okay. 5 years is okay. But 2 years you get your DTM. And if you ask anything about your project, you don't know anything. Go and ask your VP education. But that is not good. You should answer them, because you are a DTM, so the others or the followers ask a lot of questions about how to achieve DTM. So you should be clever enough or with all the details needed to guide a junior Toastmaster in his journey to attain DTM. But I have to add one thing more. That's from my personal side, from my own experience. There was a time you don't need to be a district officer to get your DTM. Later, you have to be a district officer to get your DTM. But now, even becoming a coach in any club will also help. Something like that, you are a district officer. That is what my understanding, even under the pathways. But that decision, frankly speaking, the TMI has to think about it. I heard a lot of stories of these coaches, which I don't want to disclose in an interview like this. But then my first question is, as I asked you in the beginning of this question's answer, why do you want to become a DTM like that? Those who became a DTM after becoming a coach of a club, think about it. How you became a DTM. That's all. Once you have joined in Toastmasters, you should definitely take your DTM. I know a few DTMs recently who left in Oman also. I was after them saying that you should take, because they are old Toastmasters and they could not finish their DTM to one reason or other reason, mainly the district officers' part, because they don't have the time, they don't have other things to do. But still they got it because of the coach. Then only I came to know a lot of things. But I know one Toastmaster, he was with us in the first club, even though I don't want to mention his name. He's the first DTM in Oman. I beg your pardon. First CTM, means it was competent Toastmaster those days when he started Toastmasters. He's still a Toastmaster, but he doesn't want to be a DTM because he's not interested. He's a good speaker, a good organizer, everything, but he said, I don't want to be a DTM. I just want to be a Toastmaster, and I continue as a Toastmaster. So people are also like that. They don't want to become a distinguished Toastmaster. So I am giving you two sides. In the 22 years, he's still not a DTM. He's a good speaker. I think he completed his ACG also. This is what you should always learn. Getting a DTM fast is not a problem, but why do you want it? And you should use all the possibility to become a DTM. And I love all the Toastmasters to have a DTM. That's
Thank you so much for that insight, DTM George. Definitely, I believe today you have also made it very strongly, a strong impact on me that when they say that when you truly move forward, you move forward by giving importance to every minute details of the growth. Thank you for that. Now, adding to that, since 22 years back, you had joined Toastmasters, and we have gone through the Toastmaster guidelines of moving in the education program. Today, Toastmasters is also known by the Pathway program. Now, what are your thoughts about the Pathway program? How do you see this program taking Toastmasters into its next century and making a difference?
my dear Agni Bose. My answer may be controversial. I beg your pardon, but as I mentioned earlier, whatever I want to say, I talk to people. That's my basic ideology. Whether others like it or not is their problem. If I am wrong, correct me. I am always open. If I make a mistake and somebody says a mistake, okay. But I always say that if I do something and the whole world said that that's a mistake, if my consciousness say it's not, it's not. Vice versa. If I did a mistake, the whole world said that that's not a mistake, but my consciousness says that that's a mistake, that's a mistake. That's the way I do it. Now, 24 years before, we have at least 16 books with us as a manual. CC manual is still in my library. Sometimes I go through that. And that was something beautiful. Even if you ask some of the old Toastmasters, they will say that CC manual is really good because you are studying or you are learning your speaking process one by one. Ice breaking, organizing your speech, and so on, like 10, and inspire the audience. You get your first CC. Then after another 15 manuals, 5 each, you are doing almost 40 projects, speech alone, for your DTM. And I love that. You learn it, you read it, you discuss with the evaluator, and everything. But pathways, I really have a doubt. Because as I told you, 4 clubs. I'm a member of 4 clubs, I mean. Somebody is joining after a week, 2 weeks. First level is completed, dynamic leadership. Motivational strategy, first level. I don't know why. He's coming how many times in the Toastmasters, and they are getting awards one by one. Where? To include this, to substantiate the evidence, I have something. I did my last project on, I think, 19th of August and finished my last DTM speech. I had registered in Pathways in 2018 March. But believe me, I haven't done even an ice-breaking speech in Pathways. But I evaluated a lot for others. Last at 2020, August 21st, I got a mail from Toastmasters that I have been awarded Dynamic Leadership Level 1. Is it anything wrong? I haven't done any speech in Pathways, and I already got an award. That from TMI, the letter is in my, the mail is in my mail ID. that I have completed. So I'm surprised from where they got it, this idea, because I didn't do anything. But I am already an award. I mean, I got a level 1 clear. How? Along with that, somebody who left Oman this year, and he's not an Indian, one day sent me a message. DTM George Thomas, we find a lot of awards in Oman. What is happening there? How suddenly all these awards are coming in Oman? I said, I have no idea. There's a lot of changes happen because that's a pathways. You have to check with that. And moreover, you don't need to be an area governor or a district officer. Even without that, by being a coach, you can get yours. That is what my understanding is. So my question is, I'm really not happy with the pathways. And yesterday also, I happened to talk to someone. This pathways, when I heard this is very familiar, but where pathways, capstone. And then I found maybe it's not a big issue, but even currently, I am a doctoral student of Walden University. Even though I started sometimes back, I couldn't finish. Maybe within next year, I will finish. So there we use pathways, capstone. So now my understanding, maybe I'm 100% wrong. This is going to a style of American university, like pathways and also the capstone projects and all. This is my understanding, or maybe my misunderstanding. So to conclude about this particular question, I'm 100% sure that the old method of education in Toastmasters is better than pathways. Maybe young Toastmasters will never agree with me, but they didn't see the old pattern. It's up to them. Nowadays it's online. Everything is online. Maybe in the future, even the universities will also do everything by online. Up to them. But I am an older person, so I wait. I accept what I really enjoyed. The current, I'm not sure. As I mentioned earlier, I haven't done even a single project in pathways education program. Over to you, Agnik.
Very well taken, DTM George. Now we know DTM George as how he started as a founding member in Oman, your 22 years of experience in Toastmasters, how you balance your work life, your personal life, your Toastmasters life, and being a mentor to many mentees in this country and beyond. Now that you are a double distinguished Toastmaster, what's next for you in Toastmasters, DTM George?
Indirectly, I have already answered. But still, I told you the story that how I became a management consultant. That's exactly like that. I had a dream that I wanted to get a doctorate from an American university, not from him. So I was in search of that, but I have a few conditions. My conditions accepted by them. So funny, correct? It should be an American university. I cannot go and stay there, but I want to finish. In search of that, I succeeded. In 2010 March, I joined Walden University as a doctoral student in business administration. The degree will be called DBA, Doctor of Business Administration. Till 2016, I was very busy with my doctoral program. After that, I stopped it due to many reasons. But still, I am a student. I have the option to go back, sign in, start, finish it. Education-wise, I finished everything. 2 residencies in US, I finished in 2010 and 2011. What is left is write the dissertation, submit it. I wrote 50%, means the rule is that you write 50%, submit it. Once they finish their topic, everything they accept it, finish it. Then I have to do the second part. That will take around 3 to 4 months. But due to many reasons, I could not finish that first part. Everything is ready with me because then 4 years before I decided, let me take some more time and relax. But that relaxation has enlarged for 4 years. So my first priority is I have to finish my doctorate. And at least it may be too much from my part to say that. Or maybe I'm more on thinking about myself. I want to hear or I want to get a doctorate, and that too from the university, that Walden University, because I have done almost 75%. So that's my next priority on the education. Toastmasters wise, I don't want to take any leadership. I don't think that I will take, not even a sergeant at arms in a club, but I am ready to help. That is what I love in Toastmasters. Many people, many Toastmasters, they call me for many reasons. They take advices. Even today also somebody sent, he's in India, but he sent me a voice message. I'm going to a chief jet for something. And I still am on the process of starting 2 clubs. One is a new one in Oman called Storytellers Toastmasters. I'm in the process of that. So I want to do something like an advisory to Toastmasters in Oman or elsewhere. Even 2 Kerala colleges asked me to help them to start Toastmasters in their college. Of course, the lead went from here only by the non. So I'm following up that also. So education-wise, I want to do my doctorate. And Toastmasters-wise, I want to help, not with any leadership position. That would add value. I don't want anything like that. But I want to help them. New Toastmasters, old Toastmasters, or I say default fault Toastmasters. The reason is that they have some problem in getting things done. So I'm ready to help them, to make them DTM. I want to see all the Toastmasters as a DTM. I think I'm very clear about my journey, next journey about Toastmasters and my personal views.
Wow. I can only say that it is very true that a tree can only grow bigger and bigger, and the branches can only get stronger and stronger when the roots of the tree is the strongest. And I know today that in Oman's Toastmaster, all the new DTMs, all of us are those branches, are those strong branches because of you, DTM George Thomas, of being that strong root, and because of that badge on you, which makes this Oman Toastmasters strong today. Thank you so very much for this insight into this beautiful journey of your Toastmasters, which is nothing less than a miracle. And you are truly an inspiration for young Toastmasters like us to make Oman proud. Thank you so much, TTM George Thomas. It's an honor, a true
Thank you
honor.
very much. But let me conclude with my final word.
Please.
I am a part of Toastmasters in Oman from 1999. I'm very happy. But so many people think that I am the person who started Toastmasters in Oman. No, I am grateful to God and even the first group to include me in that and kept that trust, keep the money with me because I was the treasurer. Even the others do not know who George is. And they asked me to keep their money. So that's a trust. So I'm very sure, or I'm always make sure that that trust and the help I was given and I have giving even now, I will continue till my death. That's for sure. Whatever others say, I don't mind. But others cannot say anything more also. But in that way, I'm very much thankful to Toastmaster Balachandra Chatur for giving me the opportunity. And also the first president, as I mentioned earlier, Toastmaster Abdul Hamid Al Zarjali. For the last 8 years, I'm his neighbor. So we see every day almost and say, wish each other. That's the beauty of Toastmasters. The day one I have seen Toastmaster Abdul Hamid, he's still behaving to me like that. That's the main trust. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Toastmaster Acme, and also District 105 officer, especially Public Relations Manager, DTM Diba, and also Toastmaster Anup Chandra, DTM Raja Jabir, for taking this lead. This is a second surprise for me in Toastmasters. So I never expected that at this time I will be interviewed like that. And I hope that I'll get a chance to see this. Thank you very much once more, and may God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, DTM George Thomas. Yes, this is in conversation with distinguished Toastmasters of District 105. And today we had DTM George Thomas with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.